understandable English podcast.
Learn English the easy way.
I had one of those weird confidence days last weekend. You know when nothing goes wrong, but somehow you still feel uncomfortable the entire time?
Unfortunately, yes. Those days seem to appear without warning.
I went to a social event. It wasn't even a big event, just a casual gathering. I left home feeling completely normal. Then I walked in and suddenly started questioning everything.
Let me guess. The clothes?
The clothes. Always the clothes. 5 minutes before leaving my apartment, I thought my outfit looked fine. Then I arrived and immediately decided everyone else looked better.
It's amazing how quickly the brain can change its opinion.
There was one guy wearing a jacket that looked incredibly expensive. I don't even know if it was expensive, but suddenly I felt like I was wearing a tablecloth.
That's a strong reaction to a jacket.
It got worse. Then I started comparing myself to everyone, their clothes, their confidence, their conversations, their hair. Somehow everyone had better hair than me.
The hair observation feels very personal.
It was. And if this sounds familiar, tell us in the comments. I feel like everybody does this sometimes, but nobody admits it.
I think you're right. Most people compare themselves to others occasionally.
Then I started talking to people, and that's where things really fell apart.
Social confidence is a completely different challenge.
I had a normal conversation with someone. We talked for maybe 3 minutes. Nothing dramatic happened.
Which means your brain probably created the drama afterward.
Exactly. The second the conversation ended, I started replaying it in my head.
That's a classic move.
I was thinking, did I interrupt them? Did I sound awkward? Did I talk too much? Then I remembered a joke I made.
Oh no.
Nobody laughed.
Or maybe they smiled politely and moved on with their lives.
No. In my memory, the room became completely silent.
Jay, your memory is not always a reliable witness.
That's fair. But confidence disappeared so quickly. An hour earlier, I felt normal.
That's actually something I find interesting. People often think confidence is a fixed trait, but it changes all the time.
It really does.
Some days you feel comfortable talking to anyone. Other days you suddenly become aware of your hands.
Why does that happen?
I don't know. But the moment you start wondering what your hands are doing, things get complicated.
I knew it. It's not just me.
Definitely not.
The strange thing is that nobody was rude to me. Nobody criticized me. Nobody made fun of me.
Yet your brain still acted like there was danger.
Exactly.
I think social anxiety often works that way. The feeling arrives before the evidence.
That's a really good description.
And most people are paying far less attention to us than we think.
That's probably true.
Not probably. Definitely.
How can you be so sure?
Because most people are busy thinking about themselves. They're worrying about their own clothes, their own conversations, and their own awkward moments.
That's actually comforting.
Good.
Did you ever have a day like that?
Absolutely. A few months ago, I attended a professional networking event.
That already sounds intimidating.
It wasn't terrible, but I remember walking in and seeing people confidently talking in groups.
That's always scary.
At least it looks scary from a distance.
What happened?
At first, I felt a little insecure. Everyone seemed successful. Everyone seemed confident. Everyone seemed to know exactly what they were doing.
Which usually means they don't.
Exactly. That's what I discovered later.
Go on.
I started talking to people one by one, and something interesting happened. The people who looked the most confident often admitted they were nervous.
Really?
Very often. One person told me they almost didn't attend the event because they were anxious.
That's surprising.
Another person admitted they had spent 30 minutes choosing an outfit.
Okay, that one feels relatable.
The point is that I was comparing my inside experience to their outside appearance.
That's such an unfair comparison.
It really is.
I think I do that constantly.
Most people do.
Sometimes I look at someone and assume they're confident all the time.
Nobody is confident all the time.
Not even naturally confident people?
Not even them.
That's actually reassuring.
Confidence seems to come and go. It's more like weather than personality.
That's a great way to describe it.
Some days are sunny, some days are cloudy.
And some days your brain decides a perfectly normal conversation was a disaster.
Exactly.
You know what happened when I got home?
I'm afraid to ask.
I spent an hour replaying conversations.
Of course you did.
1 hour.
That's commitment.
I remember tiny details that probably didn't matter.
That's usually how overthinking works,
Then the next morning I woke up and suddenly felt normal again.
which proves something important.
That I wasted an hour?
Also that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the other thing?
Feelings are temporary. We often assume we'll feel the same way forever, but we don't.
That's true.
The version of you at midnight was convinced everything was terrible.
Correct.
The version of you the next morning was completely fine.
Also correct.
Same person, different mood.
That's honestly something I need to remember.
We all do.
If you're listening and you've ever overthought a conversation for no reason, leave a like or write "same here" in the comments.
I suspect there will be a lot of same here comments.
Probably.
And that's another reminder that these experiences are normal.
I think that's the biggest thing I've learned. Confidence problems don't mean there's something wrong with you.
They usually mean you're human.
That's a much nicer way to think about it.
I agree.
Before we finish, let's do our vocabulary tour.
Let's do it.
Phrase replay something in your head, meaning to think about an event again and again. Example, I kept replaying the conversation in my head after the event.
Phrase compare yourself to, meaning to judge yourself against another person. Example, it's easy to compare yourself to people who seem more confident.
Phrase fall apart, meaning to stop working well emotionally or mentally. Example, Bryan felt like his confidence started to fall apart at the event.
Phrase go on, meaning continue telling a story. Example, Jessica started a story and Bryan said, go on.
Phrase point out, meaning to draw attention to something. Example, Jessica pointed out that most people worry about themselves.
Phrase figure out, meaning to understand something or find an answer. Example, Bryan tried to figure out why his confidence suddenly disappeared.
I think that's a good place to end. Some days confidence is high, some days confidence is low. That's probably more normal than most of us realize.
I agree. And usually we're much harder on ourselves than anyone else is.
Thanks for spending time with us today. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
By the way, after spending an hour trying to figure out what went wrong, I replayed everything in my head, compared myself to 3 strangers, felt my confidence fall apart, asked myself to go on with the investigation, and eventually pointed out that absolutely nothing had happened.
That sounds exactly like the kind of detective work your brain would do.